I've honestly just spent the last like 30, 40 minutes trying to figure out a way to start this video. When is it gonna stop, guys? When the hell is it gonna stop? I'm gonna try and be as calm as I can in this video, but when the hell is it gonna stop? You know, there's a saying that goes where there are certain things that are guaranteed in life: life, death, taxes, obviously depends on where you live, and Barcelona upsetting you in the Champions League every single year. Every single year without fail, at least in the last decade or so, there has been a time where you can pick a moment in that season and it's just been a flat out embarrassment. Juve 2016, Roma 2018, Liverpool 2019, Bayern in COVID, getting knocked out to Man United in the Europa League after we couldn't make it out of the groups in the Champions League. There's just flat out just occasions. And this guys, this is just adding to the mix. It's adding to the resume of receipts where we are simply just an embarrassing club in the Champions League. And when is it going to stop? Honestly, when are we going to ever get our flowers of, of getting some sort of Champions League glory? I don't think it's going to come anytime soon because guys, let's just address the elephant in the room. This team won't win us the Champions League this season. This team won't, and it's far from it in my opinion. And for those that think, you're being too reactionary, you're being too pessimistic, you're not considering the context. What context? What context? Well, because of last season. Stop comparing ourselves to last season. Stop. Put last season in the bag. It has nothing to do with this season, and it's a completely different context. So I'm not going to consider context. We have been awful this season. We've been bad. We've been very, very bad. Defensively, that's all aspects of the game. We've just been poor. We've been poor. There's like a good run of games, maybe 2 or 3 games where we'll get, 2 or 3 wins on the trot, but there's just a game waiting for us that's just going to be a disaster. And we've seen it too many times this season, guys. This team, I'm sorry, I'm literally looking at, the score in front of me right now, and it's just hurting my head. This team just won't win us the Champions League. And it sucks because obviously we were so close to it last year. Just the way the things are going at the moment, the performances, they've just been not up to standard. And I think, I think the club will hide behind the fact that, Araujo got a red card today. Chelsea beat us 3-0. Every single player on that pitch was awful today. Not just Araujo. I'll get to the Araujo red card in a bit. But I'll get to that. But every single player on the pitch today was awful. My goodness, they were terrible today. And I know people are going to blame Hansi Flick. People are going to try and single out individuals. That's the thing with our fan base. There's so much, things you could look at, so many people to blame. But why can't we just collectively blame the team for once? Because ironically today, that was the biggest thing that let us down. The team performance today. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. And I was actually looking forward to this game because this was an opportunity to really put our foot down in the Champions League, after not the greatest of starts. Obviously losing to PSG, drawing that game to Club Brugge. We needed a win today to kind of, elevate not only our place in the table, but to elevate ourselves, make a statement to others saying that, yes, we're still one of the top dogs in the Champions League. We're still, here to compete. After today, man, I don't know if I can say the same. I really don't know if I can say the same because defensively today, guys, we were a shit show. An absolute shit show. And it's so funny because in the previous games and losses, whenever we played bad this season, we'd always turn to the high line of something that we can blame as an excuse. Why can't we just blame our defensive capabilities in general? There's so much noise about the high line, this and that, players are keeping other players on side, teams have figured out a way we play. Yes, that's a given, 100%. And in fact, that's exactly what Chelsea did today in terms of how they set up with their front line. They knew we play such a kamikaze, gung-ho type of, play style. They knew what to do. Any team can figure out how to play against us. They know they're going to get chances. But why can't we just simply, kind of point out the fact that as a defensive unit, the 4 at the back, why can't they perform simple defensive actions? I will never understand that. It's like the high line is so engraved in their head, they can't perform simple defensive capabilities or actions. They can't. Whether it's slide tackling, whether it's, clearing the ball, whether it's heading, whether it's, man mark. Simple mainstream stuff you learn in the academy type of defending. Why can't we even do that? We're Barcelona. Aren't we one of the biggest clubs in Europe? Aren't we supposed to be an example, for up-and-coming teams? Kunde today. My goodness. I think I have a better touch than him. And I haven't played football in like weeks. Kubarsi. I don't even know what to say about this guy, man. There needs to be a conversation about him soon because the way he has started this new season. I know people are gonna say yes, he's 18. You have to give him time. Okay, but as soon as you step on the pitch, you're not 18 anymore, man. If you step on the pitch and you're selected to step on the pitch consistently, you're not 18 anymore. In these big games, you're not 18 anymore. You can't use that as an excuse because you can say the same thing about Esteval. You can say the same thing about half of Chelsea squad because they're so young. Yamal as well. and they perform in the biggest stages. Balde's probably the best of the four today in terms of like, what he did going forward. At least, there were a couple moments where he picked up the ball in good areas. Defensively, I don't think Esteval really got the better of him today, besides obviously the goal. So I thought Balde was the best of the four, but even Balde in previous games, like, he hasn't been great. And Araujo. Where the hell do I even begin with this guy? Can you name a more iconic duo than a red card and Araujo in the Champions League? Can you name a more iconic duo? Not even in the Champions League, actually. Scratch that. Araujo and a red card in general, in all competitions. Real Madrid, PSG, Chelsea, La Liga games, Inter Milan. Defensive mistakes in general, man. There is always something with this guy, year after year, that will continue to disappoint me. And I don't know what it is. I really don't, because I've said it before. In a different system, he will thrive. He is simply not built for the system. He isn't. He doesn't have the IQ, clearly doesn't have the defensive capabilities. He is just simply not built for it, guys. I don't know what to tell you. And I know there are a lot of Araujo fans out there who love him. I thought he was brilliant under different managerial circumstances a couple of years ago. Koeman and Xavi, I thought he was brilliant. Under Flick, man, I can't. I think this is like the cherry on the cake. You cannot trust this guy at the back. He can't. And unfortunately today, he added to the recipe of disaster by wearing the captain's armband. How could you... I'm like even struggling to say it, because how could you turn up to Stamford Bridge, away day on a Champions League night, wear the captain's armband, and get two of the most stupidest yellows that you will ever see in your life? One for complaining to the referee about a challenge that was 40 yards away from you, that you didn't even need to get involved in because you had other players dealing with it, all stuck up into the referee's face at VCC. Yeah, get booked, man. Get booked. What are you doing? What the hell are you doing? The second thing. The second yellow. Guys, I could have timed a better challenge. He was so late to that challenge on Cucurella. Like, it's honestly, like, it's laughable at this point. He's a joke. Year after year, like I said, there will always be a mistake with this guy. He will always let you down. And I'm really trying to see the best out of him. I really do, because I actually like him, as a human. His personality, he's a character. But I'm sorry, man. I can't. Flick, I don't know if this was like the cherry on the cake to like not trust him anymore, if this was like the final piece of the puzzle. There you have it, bro. There's your answer. He did it to himself today. The midfield today, absolutely terrible. Literally non-existent. This fixture in itself heavily relied on the fact that which midfield will win. Caicedo, Reece James and Enzo, or De Jong, Fermin Lopez, and Eric Garcia. Who's this midfield? The midfield battle would have won you the game 100%, and it just simply was non-existent today. I'll get to Chelsea. I will, because I thought they played a fantastic game. They were superb today, and it's becoming a reoccurring habit of Maresca turning up into these big games and always having some sort of trick up his sleeve. But Barcelona today, man, I feel bad for the fans that went to Stamford Bridge today, that went to London. Had to sit and endure that for 90 minutes in the away stand in pure silence. Pure silence. I feel bad for them, honestly. It's not like they can ask for a refund. It's not like the club could provide it anyways, but still. Every single player today should know that, yes, you can do your Mickey Mouse business in the La Liga. You can beat teams 4 or 5-0, win games by 4 or 5, whatever. In the Champions League, it's just a different level. Different level. Maybe it's just La Liga in general, because Villarreal have been poor. Atleti have been poor, Barca have been awful, and Madrid haven't been their best too. Maybe it's just La Liga as a whole. Maybe as the league, we're just shit. But yeah, like I said, the Champions League is just a different pedestal to La Liga, honestly. It's just like there are levels to this game. But yeah, if we were to actually, kind of get into, the specifics of the game, I want to say I was surprised with the way Flick lined up today. I did expect either, Rashford or Rafinha to start over Ferran on the left, but obviously Rashford it probably isn't fully fit because of his flu. Rafinha is just coming back from injury, so I can kind of understand why he started Ferran today. Eric Garcia, for many people that don't watch Barca, were surprised of him starting today, but based on the recent run of games, in La Liga, obviously he's been great in that DM position. But honestly, after today, I don't think he's built for that just yet. Honestly, I don't think he's built for that. Taking up that DM role as much, because today he just looked a completely different level to Caicedo and Reece James today. Also just looked very shaky in terms of build-up. Wasn't really asking for the ball. There's no urgency. But I can't really expect him to do that because he's not a DM. He's a defender, I think Eric Garcia's best position for us has been at right back this season when Koundé's not on the lineup. And honestly, there's a shout to make that he should have that right back spot over Koundé, because Koundé, man, Kunde, I literally said it before. Kunde, bro. I don't know what is up with this guy, bro. I don't know what is up with this guy, man. It's just Instagram FC, man. Yamal and him, bro. They can do what they want on Instagram, bro. But, like, on the pitch, Kunde has just been really, really poor. Like I said, you know, Eric Garcia started today. I don't think Flick should continue starting him in big Champions League games unless we absolutely have to. I honestly think if Casado played today, he would have been better. If Bernal played today, he would have been better. But honestly, that's nothing against Eric Garcia. You can't really expect him to do a world-class job when he's not a DM. So I'm not going to be too critical on him today. But the others, De Jong, man. De Jong was very poor today. I thought Reece James taught him a lesson. He taught him a lesson today. Had him in a headlock all game. We couldn't build out. The only outlet we had when building out today was Yamal and him. De Jong and Yamal were our only, you know, kind of outlets of build-up, and Chelsea just took care of it. Reece James on De Jong and Cucurella on Yamal. I mean, Maresca did his homework, clearly. Did his homework very, very well. Hansi Flick obviously didn't do his homework, even though I do think the performance today should be on the players rather than Hansi Flick. I'll get to Flick in a bit, but I think the overall performance today should be on the players. The overall season, yes, you can argue Hansi Flick, but today, specifically, the performance, it's on the players for me. But Fermin Lopez, completely silent today. Completely silent. I don't even think he got a shot off today, man. And it's like probably his best trait. Ferran Torres, my God, man. Ferran Torres is just a liar. And I'll tell you why he's a liar. Because he'll make you believe that he can be, you know, a great player. He can be a reliable player when he scores and bags, you know, 2 or 3 goals every week in La Liga. Couple, you know, off the bench in the Champions League. But he's a liar because when it comes to the biggest stage, when it comes to, you know, putting your foot through the ball in a one-on-one situation to slot it home, he'll just let you down. And this is not the first case too. There have been other cases in previous games where he's done the same mistake. Doesn't put the ball in the back of the net when you need him to most. And that simply just defines the player that Ferran is. I think he's a great squad player. Off the bench, he can provide something when legs are tired. But as a starter, week in, week out, he can't do it. And honestly, I'm not going to use injuries as an excuse. He wouldn't have as much game time if it wasn't down to injuries. And I think that Flick could have done a lot better in terms of his, you know, the way he set up Ferran and Lewandowski today. I do think that Ferran as a left wing just doesn't work. He's just not a left winger, man. You either stick him up front or on the bench. He got subbed out at halftime for a reason, and he just wasn't it today. Even when tracking back, even when trying to defend, he'll misplace a pass. He wasn't great in build-up. He didn't really offer anything. And Lewandowski today, I mean, there's only so much you can expect from a 38-year-old in the Champions League, you know, who's, you know, struggling to keep fit week in, week out. Didn't get any service today. Got bossed by Fofana and Chalobah. To be honest, I'd expect him to do better there because Fofana and Chalobah aren't world-class centre-backs for me. But got absolutely bossed today. Literally no service for him, so there's not much you can ask him to do. But even just like in build-up though, just very slow. Wasn't really the threat of a striker we kind of know him to be. And then Yamal today, I mean, on the ratings, he'll have the highest in the team. But what did he do? What did he do against Cucurella today? Cucurella had him in a pocket is like an understatement. I don't even think he got past him once. I don't think he, you know, won a successful duel against him. Every single duel today, guys, Chelsea were just on us. It's like the fly swatter with a mosquito. Bah. Every single duel today, Chelsea were just superior. And I'm saying this even before the red card. Every single duel, this team stepped up to the occasion. They knew what needed to be done. They executed a phenomenal game plan by Maresca, and that's how they won the game. But this game honestly perfectly encapsulates what we are currently going through as a club. Poor defensively, missing opportunities in attack, you know, kind of struggling to control games the way we want to, putting our foot on the ground, you know, against opponents like Chelsea, the big teams, etc. It's a struggle. It's a real struggle, and honestly, Flick has to figure it out soon. He has to figure it out soon because there will always be something with Barcelona. Like I said in the Champions League, there will always be something. It'll be the poor performance as a team today. It'll be the high line next week. It'll be not pressing or missing chances the week after. There is always something in the system that will always let you down. There's something, and it's just all about balancing and making sure we can execute a game plan correctly because Flick has to figure it out soon, man. He has to figure it out soon. And ironically today, the high line wasn't the issue in my opinion. It was just the team performance was just absolute shit. But the high line today, I mean, in the first half, before the red card, we caught Chelsea off, I think, 5 or 6 times. So for those who are just going to immediately blame Flick, look at the game. I think we executed the line fine. It's other, like I said, it's other aspects. We couldn't build up properly. We couldn't keep possession. lazy passing, lazy defending, like simple stuff that we're so known to be world class for. We couldn't execute it today. Flick will get his critics because he's the manager, and rightly so. He should get his critics because of how we've been playing the whole season, and he has to change something soon. He has to because this team can't defend. We defend optionally week in, week out. He has to change something up. He has to. I don't know what it is. I'm no tactician or manager. He has to figure out something soon because this team at this going rate, we are nowhere near of getting any sort of silverware in any European competition. But yeah, anyways, I'm gonna get on to Chelsea real quick. I'm not gonna say too much about them because of just time, but Chelsea today were phenomenal, guys. I'm gonna remove my Barca hat, kind of focus on, not being biased here, but Chelsea today were phenomenal. Were absolutely phenomenal. They deserve all the credit in the world. They are becoming a team that really rise up to the big occasion consistently against the big teams. City, Liverpool, PSG in the Club World Cup, Barcelona today, and I can probably name a couple more that I forgot, but they are really that team now where it's really going to be tough to beat them because of simply how they set up and how they have their, versatility and profiles to set up against you. Maresca today, wow. What a masterclass. What a masterclass. The way he set up that team, with the man-to-man press, Cucurella and Yamal, Reece James on De Jong, Caicedo and Firmino. Like, there's so much I can say. I think every single Chelsea player today deserves, their flowers because they executed a perfect game plan. And I thought the way he used Neto today as kind of his like wild card. Maresca tends to have these tricks up his sleeves, these wild cards in every single big game. The way he used Neto today was brilliant because he found spaces in behind to kind of create and do something. He's not a natural number 9, and we kind of saw that in terms of like he had a couple opportunities here and there to score, but he couldn't. But I thought the way, Garnacho and Esteval today really, used and penetrated the spaces in behind. I mean, this just goes to show how bad we are defensively because we can do an adequate job in terms of keeping the line together and, finding Chelsea offside a couple times. But when it comes to one-on-one defending now, when it comes to simple defensive actions, tackles, whatever, we can't do it. And I thought Garnacho and Esteval today were great. But I will say there are 3 players that really deserve their plaudits today. And that's Cucurella, that's Reece James, and that's Moises Caicedo. Those 3 are really starting to become the key pillars for Chelsea Football Club. And I don't know how to explain it because whenever these 3 play at the apex of their powers, and we've seen that across like a couple of games now this season, Chelsea just seem like unstoppable. And look, Barca were very, very bad today. We were terrible. Like absolutely shit today. But those 3 specifically were a big reason as to why we played bad today. Because them 3 simply coordinated a way to stop us from building up. But also when they have the ball, utilize them to like kind of get up the pitch and create chances because Cucurella today locked up Yamal, but even on the ball when he was going forward, he did his duties, did what he had to do. He got the assist today for the first goal. Reece James is not the first time we see him in midfield this season. He's been in midfield a couple times now, and this guy can he's starting to unlock a new position in his resume now. Right back, he was world class. CDM, it's coming soon. Reece James, unbelievable today. Absolutely unbelievable today. Absolutely locked up De Jong today. Literally didn't let him breathe. And Moises Caicedo. Guys, this is the best defensive midfielder in the world. I don't want to hear it. And I'm not saying that just because Barca lost today. Moises Caicedo is the best defensive midfielder in the world. He is an incredible player. Wow. Chelsea are so lucky to have him, a player like him in the team because he's so complete. Defensive tackling, ball winning, running power, whatever aspect you want in a defensive midfielder, he ticks the boxes in every single one. Even ball striking. This guy can hit the hell out of a ball. He is just an incredible player and he continues to impress me every single time I watch Chelsea games. And it's night and day when this guy's on and off the pitch because when Chelsea don't play with Caicedo, they don't look as good as they do when they have him on the pitch because he is just an absolute monster. And hey, he has another team on his list where he continues to perform. He heard all the chatter about Fermin Lopez, De Jong. Pedri didn't play today, obviously, but he heard all that chatter about the Barcelona midfield. Rocked up today. Taught us a lesson, man. Taught us a lesson. He's like, move. Get out of here. Bring me Declan Rice. Bring me Declan Rice on Sunday. Wow. And Enzo Fernandez too. This is a guy who I've been criticizing. A lot of people tell me I've been, too critical of him as of late. But Enzo Fernandez today, what a performance. Great performance. Completely ran his socks off today on the pitch. That whole midfield just didn't let us breathe one single bit. And again, I just have to give credit to Chelsea because they will always turn up to a big occasion. And they'll never fail to do so. Under Maresca. Now, if we're looking at the table, we sit 15th, Chelsea sit in 5th, and there is just a long way to go, guys. There is such a long way to go. We're 5 games in, 3 left. And I don't want to hear any Barca people tell me that, oh, don't worry, we're still going to get top 8. No, we're not, man. No, we're not. I don't think we're going to get top 8. I think we'll be very lucky if we do, because last season, I'm pretty sure you needed 16 points to get into the top 8. I mean, this season, I already see teams on 10 with 3 games to go, and those are the best teams. I see teams on 12, so I don't know. It's going to be very tough. I do expect us still... I swear to God, if we don't make top 24, man, I'll actually deactivate this account if we don't make top 24. But if we can make top 24, make it to the playoffs, and restart from there, we'll see how that goes. But guys, it has been a terrible, terrible day. Terrible day today. All I wanted was a win. All I wanted was a win. But this team just continues to disappoint me in some way or form. But let me know what you guys think of the game. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I know I haven't uploaded a YouTube video in a while, but I will try to be as consistent as I can. Leave a like, share, whatever, comment, subscribe if you haven't. We're so close to 100 actually. We're a couple subscribers away. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Peace.